I was banned from Christmas because of my own sister. Yeah, you heard that right. My parents told me not to come, not because I did something wrong, but because she felt uncomfortable. And the worst part, they actually chose her over me. I remember staring at my phone that night, reading the message again and again. It's better if you don't come this year. Ava, we want peace. Peace. My chest tightened. My hands went cold. Because deep down, I knew this wasn't just about Christmas. Something else was going on. But I had no idea how ugly it really was. My name is Ava Thompson, and until last year, I thought I had a normal family. Not perfect, but stable. My younger sister, Lily, she was always the sensitive one. Emotional, quiet, easily overwhelmed. Growing up, I was the strong one, the one who adjusted, the one who stayed quiet. Sound familiar? If Lily cried, I apologized. If Lily got upset, plans changed. If Lily felt uncomfortable, I stepped back. I didn't question it, because that's just how it always was. But this time, it felt different. It started 2 weeks before Christmas. Cold evening. Soft snow outside. I was wrapping gifts in my apartment. My phone buzzed. Mom. I smiled and picked up. Hey, honey, she said. Her voice felt off. Hey, Mom. What's up? There was a pause. A long one. Then she sighed. I need to talk to you about Christmas. Something in my stomach dropped. Okay. Another pause. Lily's been having a hard time lately, she said softly. She's anxious. I frowned. Okay, but what does that have to do with me? Silence again. And then the sentence that changed everything. She doesn't feel comfortable if you're there. My heart literally skipped. What? I whispered. She thinks your presence triggers her anxiety. Mom continued quickly. We just want a calm holiday this year. I laughed, not because it was funny, because I couldn't believe it. So, you're asking me not to come? I said slowly, it's just for this year. She replied, please understand. Understand. I felt something crack inside me. Did Lily say why? I asked, my voice shaking. She just feels judged by you, Mom said, like you look down on her. That hit hard, because it wasn't true, or at least, I didn't think it was. I've never done anything to hurt her. I said quietly, I know, Mom replied, but feelings aren't always logical. And just like that, the call ended. No discussion, no compromise, just decision made. That night, I sat alone, the Christmas lights blinking softly, the gifts half-wrapped. I kept replaying everything. She feels judged. Why? What did I do? Or worse, what did she think I did? The next day, I texted Lily. Hey, can we talk? No response. Hours passed. Nothing. Then, finally, I think it's better if we take space right now. That was it. No explanation. No conversation. Just distance. Days went by, and something started bothering me, because this didn't feel like Lily. She avoided conflict. She didn't create it. So why now? Why me? And then something clicked. 3 weeks earlier, we had dinner together, just the two of us. And something strange happened that night. At the time, I ignored it, but now it felt important. I remember sitting across from her, soft music playing, warm lights. She'd barely touched her food. You okay? I asked. She forced a smile. Yeah, just tired. But her eyes, they looked scared, like she was hiding something. Lily, I said gently, talk to me. She hesitated, then leaned in slightly. Ava, if something ever came out about me, she whispered, would you still support me? That caught me off guard. What do you mean? I asked. She quickly shook her head. Nothing. Forget it. But I didn't forget, because now it made sense. Or, at least, part of it did. So I started digging. At first, it felt wrong, like I was invading her privacy, but something deep inside me said, you need to know the truth. And what I found, it changed everything. It started small. I checked her social media. Nothing unusual. Then I remembered she once used my old laptop, the one I still had. I turned it on, heart racing, and there it was. Her email still logged in. I hesitated. This was the line. Once I crossed it, there was no going back. But I clicked anyway. At first, normal stuff, newsletters, shopping receipts. Then one folder caught my eye. Private. My pulse quickened. Why would she label something like that? I opened it, and that's when I saw the first email, sent to my parents. Subject line, I don't feel safe around Ava. My breath stopped. Safe? From me? I clicked it, and as I started reading, my entire world shattered, because what she wrote about me wasn't just false. It was terrifying. And the worst part, there were more emails, dozens of them, all telling the same story, all painting me as someone I didn't even recognize. But why? What was she trying to do? And how far had this lie already spread? I kept scrolling, faster now, desperate, and then I found something that made my blood run cold. A document, attached, detailed, planned, and it had my name all over it. In that moment, I realized something. This wasn't just about Christmas. This wasn't about comfort. This was something much bigger, something dangerous. And I was already in the middle of it, without even knowing. And as I opened that file, I had no idea. I was about to uncover the truth that would destroy everything. And then I opened the file. My hands were shaking. My heart wouldn't slow down. For a second, I almost closed it, but something inside me said, no, you need to see this. So I clicked. It was a document, neatly typed, organized, almost professional. Title at the top, Behavioral Log, Ava Thompson. I froze. Behavioral log? Like I was some kind of threat. My chest tightened as I scrolled. Every page filled with entries, dates, times, incidents. But none of them were real. December 3rd, Ava raised her voice aggressively. I felt unsafe. November 21st, Ava stared at me during dinner. Intimidating behavior. October 15th, Ava made passive comments implying I'm a burden. I couldn't breathe. None of this ever happened. Not like this. Not even close. These were twisted versions of normal moments. Completely rewritten. Why would she do this? What was she building? Then I saw something worse. A section labeled, Next Steps. My stomach dropped. There were bullet points. Clear. Intentional. Limit contact with Ava. Inform parents about emotional distress. Document patterns to establish credibility. Consider legal advice if behavior escalates. Legal advice? Against me? I stepped back from the screen. My legs felt weak. This wasn't anxiety. This wasn't feeling uncomfortable. This was a plan, a full strategy to turn me into the villain. But why? What did she gain from this? I needed answers, real ones. So I did something I hadn't done before. I called someone outside the family. My best friend, Rachel. She picked up immediately. Ava, you okay? You sound weird. I didn't even try to hold it together. Rachel, I think my sister is trying to destroy me. Silence. Then, what are you talking about? So, I told her everything. The emails, the document, the lies, all of it. When I finished, she didn't speak for a moment. Then she said something that hit me hard. Ava, this isn't random. What do you mean? This feels calculated, she said, like she's building a case. But for what? Exactly. That question kept echoing in my head. For what? And then it clicked. Money. 2 months ago, my parents updated their will. We had a family dinner. It came up casually. Dad even joked, everything will be split equally. No fighting when we're gone. We laughed. Or, at least, I did. But Lily, she didn't laugh. She went quiet. I remember that now, too clearly. My chest tightened again. Was this about inheritance? Was she trying to make me look unstable, dangerous? So she could what? Cut me out? I needed proof, not just theories. So I went back to the email, dug deeper, searched keywords, lawyer, concern, safety, and then I found it, an email thread between Lily and someone else, a name I didn't recognize, but the email signature said everything. Family attorney. My pulse exploded. I opened it. Based on the documentation you've provided, your concerns appear valid. If this behavior continues, there may be grounds to challenge your sister's involvement in family matters, including inheritance decisions. I felt sick. This was real. She wasn't just venting. She was preparing, planning to legally push me out. And suddenly everything made sense. The distance, the silence, the uncomfortable excuse. She wasn't avoiding me. She was isolating me, creating a narrative, one where I was the problem. But she made one mistake. She left evidence. I didn't sleep that night. I organized everything. Screenshots, downloads, backups, every email, every document. I built my own file, piece by piece. If she wanted a case, fine, I'd give her the truth. The next morning, I drove to my parents' house, uninvited. My heart was pounding the entire way, snow falling lightly. The same house, but it felt different now, colder. I knocked. Mom opened the door. Her face changed instantly. Ava, what are you doing here? I stepped inside. We need to talk. Dad came into the living room. Lily was already there. Of course she was. Sitting on the couch, looking small, fragile, just like always. But this time, I saw through it. Ava, this isn't a good time. Mom said. No, I replied firmly. It's the perfect time. I pulled out my phone. My hand steady now, stronger. You said you wanted peace. I said, then let's start with the truth. Lily's eyes widened, just for a second, but I caught it. What truth? Dad asked. I looked straight at him, the one she's been hiding. Then I hit play. Her voice filled the room, a voice recording from that dinner weeks ago. I had forgotten. My phone recorded audio accidentally, but I kept it, and now it mattered. Lily's voice trembled through the speaker. I don't know how to make them see her like I do. Maybe if I document everything, they'll finally understand, and then things will be fair. Silence. Heavy, crushing silence. Mom looked at Lily, confused, hurt. Lily, what is this? Dad's face hardened. Is this true? Lily started shaking. I didn't mean... I stepped forward. You didn't mean to lie? I said quietly, or you didn't mean to get caught. Tears filled her eyes. But this time, I didn't feel guilty. I was scared, she cried. You always had everything. The attention, the confidence. I felt invisible. There it was, the truth, not evil, not pure malice, but insecurity, fear, twisted into something dangerous. You could have talked to me, I said softly. I would have listened. I didn't think you would, she whispered. Dad exhaled slowly, then looked at me. I'm sorry, he said. We should have asked more questions. Mom stepped closer. We believed the wrong story. And just like that, everything shifted. That Christmas, I was there, not as the villain, not as the problem, but as myself. Lily didn't sit next to me. Not yet. Healing takes time. But she looked at me once. Really looked. And for the first time, there were no lies between us. As for the inheritance, it stayed equal, just like it should have been. But the real victory was something else. I finally stopped being the strong one who stayed quiet and became the one who stood up for herself, for the truth, for justice. Because sometimes the people closest to you can break you the most, but they don't get to define you. You define yourself.